The second thing I asked my friend today was I said define integrity, and he said, well, that would be treating others the way I want to be treated, and being 100% real to who you are. And here's the thing about my friend. He won't lie under any circumstances, and not even a little white lie. And so he's definitely got some people who don't like him. And I don't think he's not hateful or mean. He won't say, you're ugly or whatever. He's not like that. But he has got a mind that you can't believe. Almost like Silence of the Lambs, kind of smart with numbers. He's like a computer, and he works with the stock market. And so there have been times when he had tons of money and times when he was flat broke. And when he was flat broke, he would tell people. I'm like, Jim, what are you doing? What, they think you're rich, man. Why don't you just let them think that? You don't have to change their minds. And he's like, well, when they ask me how much I'm trading, I tell them I'm broke. And he never ever stretches the truth. And it really created a conundrum for me, man, because I think sometimes it's a lot easier to just go a little bit outside the lines and tell a lie. It's not going to hurt anybody, and it's really long term. I mean, what's really going to hurt? And then you don't hurt their feelings or whatever you're trying to avoid. He said, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't ever do it, because every war, every murder, every evil thing has come about as a result of a lie and the following cover-up. And if you think about it at a really deep level, that's true. And what is God? God is truth.
Yeah.
And who is Satan? Father of lies.
Yeah.
And so it's really been an interesting thing for me to dwell on and to really kind of focus on. Really? Because you gotta lie sometimes. I mean, I don't want to tell everybody the absolute truth, but what if you could? You think that's a possibility?
Yeah, so this is a conversation no one wants to have, right?
Yeah.
But this is
because we all lie.
Yeah, this is what I've learned about that is when I was when I became a Christian at like 18 years old and really, really radically got saved, like had a radical change, life-changing encounter with God. And so from about 18, and then I started becoming business successful around 20. And when I was working in Silicon Valley for Telenav and stuff like that, I had this boss. And everyone wanted to work with me, and all my clients wanted to buy from me because they would say, like, dude, you're just a guy that we know we can trust. Like everyone used to tell me that, and they're like, we know, like, you don't know everything. You don't know a lot of the basics. You don't know, but you'll find the answer. Like, you've proven you'll find the answer, and we also know we can trust you. Like, when you come in, we say, hey, does this do that? We know we can trust you. Will this work or will this not work? You'll say, I don't know. Like, you're the only guy who will walk in here and say, I don't know. Like, let me find out. And then I'll come back and say, we have maybe a 40% probability that part of an integration or whatever would work. And they would go, wow, like, we thought there was no way you were actually going to tell us that. But so my boss, who we were a very successful company, we started having a lot of people working under me and stuff. And one thing that he used to tell me, and I'll never forget this, he used to say, James, sometimes you have to lie. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you cannot just go out there and say, like, when somebody asks you something, you just tell them. No, our sales are actually not that good this month. We're actually down 218%, but you should see this PowerPoint slide we got about next month. Boy, we are going to crush it. You want to buy? You know what I mean? Like, so what he was saying was not like blatantly lie. Like, he wasn't very articulate with it. But I would put it this way, a way that Jordan Peterson says it in his book. He says, always tell the truth, or at least don't lie.
Yeah.
If you think about the psychology
there's
of that,
a difference.
Yeah. It's like, so for instance, somebody who, I won't say who this person is, but there's a certain somebody who has said, because she knows all the stuff about my business, she's like, oh, he's just a total liar about his company. And I'm like, what are you talking about, right? But then if I go and look at like what she does now for her company, it's like I know because I'm in the industry what their sales are, how well they're doing. That nobody, because she's in marketing, nobody goes online and starts saying, well, actually our growth curve is down 120% from where we thought it was going to be, but we're going to be at this event doing this, and then we got this going on. And if it wasn't for this extra income money that so-and-so is siphoned into the company, we actually would probably be going through layoffs right now. But, thank God that didn't happen. So, you know what I mean? Like no one does a marketing video like that, right? Everyone's marketing video is, things are going great.
Yeah.
The company is crushing it. We're really excited to be here. We're blah, blah. So that's what I'm saying is tell the truth or at least don't lie, right?
Yeah.
Like that is true. You are excited to be there. You are doing well. You are, you know what I mean? So so that's the thing that like, okay, so if you take that and even line it up with the Bible, because then I've had this discussion with people like, oh, I just do what the Bible says. Jesus is truth. Well, dude, okay, if you go through this topic in the Bible, David stole the showbread from the priests.
There's freaking lies all over the place.
I mean, and God still blessed him. Like, dude, there were so many times. So I could just
Jacob
litter
and
it with so many times. Yeah, I mean, Jacob was like, his nickname was the deceiver, right? Like, and so, was it this? Anyway,
dude, Mary and Joseph weren't straight with everybody at first.
Yeah. I mean. But I think coming back to it all, like you have to understand, like the word devil is highly linked to the word deceiver, and the word Satan is linked to the word or to the phrase the accuser of the brethren or the accuser. And so, like I try to stay as far away as I can from those things. Deceiving people is significantly different, right? Like, deceiving is saying.
I can do this for you when you can't. Yeah,
like deceiving would be like, me and you worked on a deal, it didn't go through, but I tell someone else, oh man, we were crushing it on that, dude. That thing is, we hammered that so hard, dude. Like, bro, that deal was so good. You want to do a deal like that? You know what I mean? Like maybe that person wants to do something with me, right? So if I completely deceive him about something, right, versus saying, there's a way to, I don't have to come out and say, it's a business deal. I'm trying to add value to someone else. I don't want to come in and say, oh man, yeah, we totally felt like we kind of wasted our time. You want to do it with me? Right? Like you wouldn't say that either, right? Because also that's actually not true. We didn't waste our time. We learned a lot. Right. We got a lot of intellectual property from it. You know what I mean? And so there's a fine line of how you it comes down to like having clear articulation. Like, can you actually clearly articulate things in a positive way that adds value to the conversation? Because no one. I love it when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I never lie." I'm like, that's the first. That right there should tell you that you're a liar. I've never heard somebody say I don't lie, and I believe them.
My buddy that I was talking to today used to work for Fred Trump, who is Donald Trump's dad, and he had a policy. He worked in the apartment complexes in New Jersey, and there was slums. The guy was a slumlord, pretty much. I mean, he had a ton of apartments that all needed work. And so he worked with his uncle, who was employed by Fred. But anyway, Fred Trump would tell people, if you break something, if you screw up a job, if you do something wrong, just tell me and we'll fix it. But if you lie to me, you'll never work for me again.
Yeah.
And that was the policy. And if you walked in and royally screwed up, as long as you owned it and he knew that it wasn't intentional, he would help you fix it and you move on.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really clear sign. That's integrity. That's deceptive when you break something and you lie about it. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah, and also what I found in my life was feeling like I don't tell lies was really an insecurity that I had in me, whereas like depending on who you are and how you come up, some men maybe can tend to think that I need to tell the truth to expose who I really am so that you will like me. And so like I was like that for a long time, to where I always felt like I needed to share like if somebody said, "Hey man, how's it going today?" Like I would tell you. And I
tell
felt
them.
like if I do that, then you'll love and care for me more, and you'll want to be my friend more, and you'll reciprocate. Well, as you find out in life, that actually doesn't happen, right?
Yeah,
Like when somebody says, "Hey, how's it going?" They're not actually saying
very surface greeting.
right. They're just saying, "What's up?" Like they're just and also you realize that like sometimes when you just push your truth out there, really you're dumping your garbage on other people, right?
Yeah.
And you're being inconsiderate in the fact that you're really doing that for yourself.
Yeah,
Psychologically, you're doing it so that you can get something back versus like, trying to just contribute something to the conversation or to the other person or whatever. So it's been this weird thing. That whole thing has been a weird journey in my life and I'm certainly not perfect at it. I mean, definitely I can say my biggest fall is like when I get really upset or really emotional about something, that's when I can just say something and I'm just like, what the heck did I just say?
I can't believe I just said
yeah,
that.
but I do feel like now I'm to a point of maturity and self-awareness now where even maybe like 10 years ago or even who knows 5 years ago I may not even been there, but I feel like I'm generally in this place now where like if I say something that's pretty much a lie, somebody will go, "Did that really happen?" And I'll go, "No." Or I'll go, "Actually, I didn't mean to say it like that. I got too excited. It did happen like that." You know what I mean? So at least I can self-correct,
right?
Which is going down the right path.
Yeah,
right?
hey man, you're on the right track, buddy. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think why truth is so important for men is we have to become men of truth, where we can learn to be open and honest at certain degrees with certain relationships, whether it's our family, people we know, our business colleagues, whatever. But we have certain levels and layers of truth where we actually have an inner circle of people we can be truthful with, whether it's one buddy, one family member, whatever. But like, if you cannot get to truth, people, especially men, we will struggle with all the other things in our lives, like how we communicate, how we lead, what we're like. We will let anybody lead us, or we will believe lies because really we haven't gotten to the truth that's inside of us, and those things are hard. And one of the things that I've done, this is a very biblical concept, is have people around me, particularly men around me, who are open to speak directly into my life. So there's really like 3 or 4 people that they kind of know, like if we talk on the phone or whatever, they can go, like I have this one friend, he'll just be like, "Bro, you are totally full of shiz." Like he'll just tell me that right on the phone. And I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, no, he's not always right or wrong, but if you don't have anybody in your life who can, especially if you're a fast mover and stuff, who can tell you stuff like that, I mean, you're at a major disadvantage because the thought that you are always going to be a person of truth, the thought that you are always going to be doing things right and correct, that's just not going to happen. And so you would rather have somebody who you trust, who can say it in the way that you need to hear it, who can help you kind of course correct. I mean, that is one of the, I would say honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons why I've been able to accomplish so many different like facets of life. Whether it was sports or family or whatever, business or whatever, is because it's not because I was any smarter. I really wasn't. I just had a lot of accountability in there.
It's so rare to have someone that's got jurisdiction over you to be able to talk to you directly like that. And I guess it takes time, and you have to earn each other's trust.
Yeah.
You have to have kept a few secrets over the years, and that you're good with this guy.
Yeah.
And because I've got a couple of friends like that, and they can call me out, and that happened 2 days ago. My buddy was like, "Really? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're kidding yourself. You can't lie to you. You can't lie to yourself. That's one person that you can't do it. And you always know it." And I think that's what builds that anger that really dishonest people have, that will lie about you or try to hurt you with lies, or that's like who they are.
Yeah.
Those are the angriest people.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they're self-imploding. They don't have anywhere to go, and they know they're lying.
Yeah.
And they feel it. And it's like, it's just got to be just a devastating feeling to know that you've woven such a complex web of lies over the years, and it's just a matter of when the people are going to realize what you've done. I think that's why that some people are so angry like that. But I have a friend who's he's highly functional autistic. I guess you'd call it Asperger's. But he asked me, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Do you really want to know? Or are you just being nice?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just being nice." I so appreciated that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing great. And then we moved on.